What if I told you that your worst day was actually your best day and you just didn't know it yet? Most people spend their entire lives trying to prevent problems, but the most successful people spend their lives collecting problems because they understand that problems are just success in work clothes. Your current struggle isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. And the reason you can't see it yet is because you've been trained to see obstacles as enemies instead of opportunities. While everyone else is avoiding the storm, you should be dancing in it, because storms don't last forever, but the strength you build weathering them does. Right now, at this very moment, someone somewhere is facing the worst day of their life. Their business is failing, their relationships are crumbling, their dreams seem impossible. And they believe this is the end of their story. But I'm here to tell you something that will change everything you think about hard times. The greatest lie ever told is that difficult times are meant to destroy you. The truth is exactly the opposite. Hard times are not your enemy. They are your greatest teacher, your strongest ally, and your most powerful tool for creating the life you truly want. Think about a diamond for a moment. What creates that brilliant, unbreakable gem that everyone admires? Pressure. Intense, crushing pressure applied over time. Without that pressure, carbon remains just carbon, ordinary, unremarkable, forgotten. But with pressure, it becomes something extraordinary, something that lasts forever, something that catches light and throws it back in ways that take your breath away. You are that carbon. And right now, the pressure you feel is not trying to crush you. It's trying to create something magnificent. Let me tell you about Michael 3 years ago. He owned a successful construction company. He had 40 employees, a beautiful home, 2 luxury cars, and what everyone would call a perfect life. Then the market crashed. Within 6 months, he lost everything. His business went bankrupt. His house went into foreclosure. His wife left him. His friends stopped calling. He found himself living in a small apartment, wondering how his life had fallen apart so completely. Most people would have given up. Most people would have blamed the economy, their ex-wife, their circumstances. But Michael made a different choice. He decided to treat his failure as education, not as his final destination. He took a job as a laborer with a small landscaping company. Every day, as he worked with his hands in the dirt, he studied. He learned about sustainable building practices. He researched new construction techniques. He saved every dollar he could, and most importantly, he built something that couldn't be taken away from him, unshakable confidence in his ability to survive and thrive no matter what life threw at him. Today, Michael owns the fastest growing green construction company in his state. He employs 60 people. He has more money than he ever did before. But more than that, he has something priceless. The absolute certainty that he can handle anything life brings his way. What happened to Michael? The same thing that happens to every person who chooses to see hard times correctly. He developed strength that only comes through resistance. Here's what science tells us about strength. Your muscles don't grow when you're resting comfortably on your couch. They grow when you put them under stress, when you push them beyond their comfort zone, when you force them to adapt to demands they've never faced before. The same is true for your character, your skills, your mental toughness, and your ability to succeed. Comfortable times create comfortable people, and comfortable people never achieve anything extraordinary. They never push past their limitations. They never discover what they're truly capable of. They live their entire lives using only a tiny fraction of their potential because they never face circumstances that demand more from them. But hard times strip away everything that isn't essential. They force you to focus on what really matters. They demand that you develop skills you never knew you needed. They push you to find strength you never knew you had. They reveal resources and capabilities that were always there but remained hidden during the easy times. The difference between people who succeed and people who fail isn't talent, luck, or circumstances. It's how they respond when everything seems to be going wrong. It's their ability to see crisis as opportunity, obstacles as stepping stones, and setbacks as setups for comebacks. Victims ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Victors ask, "How can I use this to become stronger?" Victims focus on the problem. Victors focus on the solution. Victims see hard times as proof that life is unfair. Victors see hard times as proof that they're about to level up. The truth is, life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. Every challenge you face is specifically designed to develop something inside you that you need for your next level of success. Every obstacle contains within it the exact skills, strength, and wisdom you need to achieve goals you haven't even set yet. Think about the most successful people you know, the ones you truly admire. I guarantee you that every single one of them has a story of overcoming significant adversity. They've all faced moments when everything seemed hopeless, when quitting would have been easier than continuing, when everyone around them said it was time to give up. But they didn't give up. They understood something that most people never learn. Hard times don't last, but hard people do. Tough times don't kill you unless you let them. Instead, they reveal who you really are underneath all the comfort and convenience of easy times. Your current struggle isn't your permanent address, it's your temporary classroom. And the curriculum of that classroom is specifically designed to prepare you for the success that's waiting on the other side of your persistence. The question isn't whether you'll face hard times, you will. The question is whether you'll let them make you bitter or better, whether you'll let them defeat you or develop you, whether you'll see them as your ending or your beginning. When you're going through hell, keep going. That's not just motivational talk, it's scientific fact. Your brain is literally rewiring itself every single day based on how you respond to pressure. And the mental muscles you build during tough times become your greatest assets when opportunity knocks. Most people don't understand this. They think resilience is something you either have or you don't, like eye color or height. But resilience is a skill. And like any skill, it gets stronger with practice. Every time you face adversity and choose to push through instead of giving up, you're actually building neural pathways that make you more capable of handling future challenges. Let me tell you about Lisa. 2 years ago, she was a single mother working 3 part-time jobs just to pay rent. Her credit was destroyed from a messy divorce. She had $17 in her bank account and a stack of overdue bills on her kitchen table. Most nights, she fell asleep wondering how she was going to feed her kids the next day. But Lisa had something that most people never develop. She understood the power of small daily choices. While other people in her situation were making excuses, she was making progress. Every morning, she woke up 30 minutes earlier to read books about business and personal development. Every lunch break, instead of scrolling through social media, she was learning new skills online. Every evening, after putting her kids to bed, she spent 2 hours working on a business plan. People thought she was crazy. Her friends told her to be realistic, to accept her situation, to focus on survival instead of dreams. But Lisa knew something they didn't. She knew that your current situation is not your final destination unless you choose to make it so. She started a small cleaning service with borrowed equipment and a used car. The first month she made $300, the second month $500. By the end of the first year, she was making more than she ever had at any of her previous jobs. Today, Lisa owns a cleaning company with 25 employees and generates over $1 million in annual revenue. What changed, not her circumstances, those were still difficult in the beginning. What changed was her psychology. She developed what I call the resilience mindset, the absolute belief that every setback is temporary and every challenge is conquerable. Here's what happens in your brain when you face adversity with the right mindset. Your neural networks actually grow stronger. Your problem-solving abilities increase. Your creativity expands. Your confidence builds based on proven performance under pressure. Not just positive thinking, but here's the key. This only happens if you control your internal dialogue. Your brain is listening to every word you say to yourself, and it believes whatever you tell it, most often. If you constantly tell yourself that things are hopeless, that you can't handle this, that life is too hard, your brain will find evidence to support that belief. But if you tell yourself that this is temporary, that you're growing stronger, that you've overcome challenges before and you'll overcome this one too, your brain will start looking for solutions instead of problems. It will start noticing opportunities instead of obstacles. This isn't wishful thinking. This is how high performers train their minds to work for them instead of against them. They understand that you don't control what happens to you, but you absolutely control what happens in you. The compound effect of these small daily mental choices is extraordinary. Every time you choose optimism over pessimism, action over paralysis, growth over comfort, you are making a deposit in your resilience account, and that account pays compound interest. Think about it this way. Every challenge you face successfully builds unshakable confidence. Not the fake confidence that comes from reading inspirational quotes, but real confidence that comes from proven ability to handle whatever life throws at you. This kind of confidence can't be shaken by temporary setbacks, because it's built on a foundation of actual achievement under pressure. The people who thrive during difficult times aren't lucky, they're prepared. They've trained their minds to see opportunity where others see only problems. They've developed the mental habits that turn pressure into performance. They've learned to use adversity as fuel instead of letting it become their excuse. Your psychology during hard times determines everything. It determines whether you quit or continue, whether you learn or just suffer, whether you come out stronger or weaker. The choice is always yours, and that choice always determines your results. Right now, as you face whatever challenges are in front of you, your brain is being rewired. The question is, are you rewiring it for strength or weakness, for success or failure, for resilience or fragility? There's a pattern that repeats throughout history. And once you see it, you'll never look at your struggles the same way again. Easy times create soft people. Soft people create hard times. Hard times create strong people, and strong people create easy times. This cycle never stops, and right now you get to choose which part of the cycle you want to represent when everything is going well, when money's flowing easily, when relationships are smooth, when health is good. Most people become lazy. They stop growing, they stop learning, they stop pushing themselves, they start taking things for granted. They lose their edge, their hunger, their drive to improve. But when the pressure is on, when your back is against the wall, when you have no choice but to perform or perish, something magical happens. All the non-essential things in your life get stripped away. All the distractions disappear. All the excuses become meaningless. You're left with only what matters most: your ability to think, to act, and to persist until you win. This clarity is a gift that only comes through struggle. When you're comfortable, you have the luxury of being confused about your priorities. When you're fighting for survival, your priorities become crystal clear. You stop wasting time on activities that don't move you forward. You stop spending energy on people who don't support your growth. You stop making excuses and start making progress. The most successful companies in history were founded during recessions. IBM, General Motors, Disney, Microsoft, all of these giants were born when times were tough. Why? Because their founders understood that setbacks are actually setups for comebacks. They saw opportunity where others saw only obstacles. When the economy is struggling, there's less competition. When others are cutting back, you can move forward. When people are afraid to invest, you can acquire assets at bargain prices. When everyone else is focused on surviving, you can focus on thriving. But here's the crucial difference between temporary defeat and permanent failure. Temporary defeat is an event. Permanent failure is a choice. Every successful person has faced moments of temporary defeat. The difference is that they refuse to make it permanent. Thomas Edison didn't fail 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. He found 1,000 ways that didn't work. Each failure gave him information he needed for success. Each setback taught him something valuable. Each obstacle forced him to think more creatively, to work more persistently, to become more than he was before. Your current struggle is not your final chapter, it's your training ground. Every problem you solve makes you better at solving problems. Every challenge you overcome builds your confidence for facing bigger challenges. Every time you get knocked down and get back up, you prove to yourself that you're stronger than whatever tries to stop you. The person you become through struggle is always more valuable than the person you were before struggle. Your skills multiply, your wisdom deepens, your character strengthens, your determination becomes unbreakable. You develop qualities that can't be taught in classrooms or learned from books, qualities that only come through real-world experience under pressure. When you're in the middle of hard times, it's difficult to see the gifts they're giving you. But those gifts are there, the focus that comes from having your back against the wall, the creativity that emerges when you have to find new solutions, the strength that develops when you have to carry more than you thought possible, the wisdom that comes from learning what really works and what doesn't. Every struggle you face today is preparing you for opportunities you can't even see yet. Every skill you develop, every lesson you learn, every bit of strength you build, it's all getting you ready for the next level of your life. The ancient alchemists spent their lives trying to turn lead into gold. They never succeeded because they were looking in the wrong place. The real alchemy happens inside you. It's the ability to transform your pain into power, your obstacles into opportunities, your wounds into wisdom. Every person who has achieved something significant has mastered this transformation. They've learned to take the raw material of their struggles and forge it into the tools of their success. They don't waste their pain. They use it as fuel for their growth. When you're facing adversity, your creativity explodes. Think about it. When was the last time you came up with your best ideas? Probably not when you were sitting comfortably with no problems to solve. Your most innovative thinking happens when you're backed into a corner and forced to find a way out. Necessity isn't just the mother of invention, it's the mother of breakthrough. Companies that thrive during tough times don't do it by accident. They do it by innovation born from desperation. When their old methods stop working, they're forced to find new methods. When their usual customers disappear, they're forced to find new markets. When their traditional revenue streams dry up, they're forced to create new ones. This same principle applies to your personal life. Your greatest victories will always come after your darkest hours, not because of luck, but because darkness forces you to develop the skills and strength you need for victory. The person who has never faced real adversity has never had to develop real capability. Consider the power of shared struggle. Some of your strongest relationships were forged during difficult times. People who face challenges together develop bonds that can't be broken by success or comfort. They trust each other because they've seen each other under pressure. They respect each other because they've witnessed each other's character when it mattered most. Professional networks built during tough times are more valuable than networks built during good times. When you help someone during their struggle, they remember. When someone helps you during your struggle, you remember. These relationships become the foundation for future opportunities that you can't create any other way. Your personal success philosophy, the beliefs and principles that guide your decisions, isn't formed during easy times. It's forged in the fire of real challenge. You don't know what you really believe until those beliefs are tested. You don't know what you're really made of until you're pushed beyond your comfort zone. Every setback teaches you something that success never could. Success teaches you what works when conditions are favorable. Setbacks teach you what works when conditions are against you. Success builds confidence in good times. Setbacks build confidence that lasts through any times. The determination you develop through repeated challenges becomes unbreakable. Each time you face something difficult and push through, you prove to yourself that you can handle more than you thought possible. Each victory, no matter how small, adds to your certainty that you can overcome whatever comes next. Most people try to avoid pain and seek only pleasure. But successful people understand that pain is temporary, but the strength you gain from working through pain lasts forever. They don't enjoy suffering, but they appreciate what suffering teaches them. They don't seek out hardship, but they use hardship to become stronger. Your current pain is not permanent, but the power you gain from transforming that pain will last for the rest of your life. There comes a moment in every person's life when they stand at a crossroads. Behind them lies everything they've lost, everything that went wrong, every reason to give up. Ahead of them lies uncertainty, risk, and the possibility of failure again. But in that moment, they have a choice that will define the rest of their story. They can choose to be defined by their past or to be refined by their future. Let me tell you about Robert, because his story contains the blueprint for every comeback you'll ever need. 5 years ago, Robert was a respected financial advisor with a thriving practice. He had built his reputation over 15 years, managed millions of dollars for his clients, and lived what everyone would consider a successful life. Then came the phone call that changed everything. His business partner had been embezzling money from client accounts for 2 years. Overnight, Robert lost everything. His business was shut down. His reputation was destroyed. His clients sued him, even though he had no knowledge of his partner's crimes. He lost his house, his savings, his career, and his confidence. At age 45, he found himself starting over with nothing but debt and a damaged name. Most people would have declared bankruptcy, moved to another city, and tried to forget their past. But Robert understood something crucial about failure. It's not final unless you make it final. Failure is feedback, not a verdict. It's information, not identity. The first thing Robert did was take complete responsibility for his situation. Not because everything was his fault, but because taking responsibility is the only way to take control. When you blame circumstances, other people, or bad luck, you give away your power to change things. When you take responsibility, you reclaim your power to create solutions. Robert's comeback began with a systematic approach that anyone can follow. First, he got brutally honest about his current reality. He listed every debt, every damaged relationship, every skill he needed to develop. Most people avoid this step because it's painful to face the truth, but you can't navigate to where you want to go if you don't know where you are right now. Second, he created a clear vision of where he wanted to be, not just financially, but personally and professionally. He didn't just want to recover, he wanted to rebuild himself into someone stronger than he had ever been before. Your comeback must be bigger than your setback, or you'll never find the motivation to push through the difficult times ahead. Third, he developed a daily routine that moved him toward his goals regardless of how he felt. Every morning at 5 o'clock, he was up studying for new certifications in financial planning. Every afternoon, he worked part-time at a local bank to pay bills and learn the business from the ground up again. Every evening, he made phone calls to repair relationships and build new ones. The compound interest of these daily actions was extraordinary. Each day, he was a little smarter, a little stronger, a little more connected. Each week, he could see measurable progress. Each month, new opportunities began to appear that hadn't existed before. But here's the key insight from Robert's journey. Your greatest victories don't come from avoiding failure. They come from how quickly and completely you recover from failure. The faster you can process setbacks, learn from them, and get back into action, the faster you can achieve the success you want. Robert's comeback took 3 years of consistent daily effort. Today, he runs a financial advisory firm that's 3 times larger than his original practice. He's written a book about ethical financial planning that has helped thousands of people. He speaks at conferences about business integrity and comeback strategies. He has more money, more respect, and more fulfillment than he ever had before his setback. More importantly, he has something that can never be taken away from him, the absolute certainty that he can handle anything life throws at him. He's been to the bottom and climbed back to the top. He knows exactly what it takes to rebuild from nothing. That knowledge is priceless. Your comeback blueprint is simple but not easy. First, take complete ownership of your current situation. Stop wasting energy on blame and channel it into solutions. Second, create a compelling vision of your future that's bigger than your current problems. Third, develop daily habits that move you toward that vision regardless of temporary setbacks or slow progress. Fourth, use every failure as feedback to improve your approach. Every mistake teaches you something valuable about what works and what doesn't. Every setback shows you skills you need to develop or relationships you need to build. Every obstacle reveals strengths you didn't know you had. Fifth, understand that character development is the compound interest of personal growth. Every time you choose courage over comfort, persistence over quitting, growth over stagnation, you're making deposits in an account that pays dividends for life. The person you become through the process of comeback is always more valuable than anything you lost. Right now, at this very moment, you're writing the next chapter of your life story. You can write a chapter about giving up, about being defeated by circumstances, about accepting less than you deserve, or you can write a chapter about rising up, about fighting back, about refusing to let temporary setbacks become permanent limitations. The choice is yours, and that choice will determine everything that happens next. Your past doesn't determine your future unless you let it. Your current situation is not your final destination unless you choose to make it so. Your struggles are not trying to destroy you. They're trying to develop you into the person capable of achieving everything you truly want. Today's pain is tomorrow's strength. Today's struggle is tomorrow's skill. Today's setback is tomorrow's setup for the comeback that will define the rest of your life. The question isn't whether you'll face hard times. You will. The question is whether you'll let them test you or defeat you, develop you or destroy you, make you bitter or make you better. Hard times test you, but they don't have to kill you. They reveal your character, but they don't have to break your spirit. They challenge your resolve, but they don't have to shatter your dreams. The choice, as always, is yours, and that choice starts right now.